Hi, hi, hi. Here we are again, back on the tube. Back in on the tube again. As my cats run around crazy with the zoomies, apparently. You guys zoomied up because you need to calm down. Hmm. Oh my gosh, how can it only be Tuesday, everybody? How did this happen, right? It's only Tuesday. I'm a little bit early here tonight, but I figured I'd get myself set up and not worry about it. So that's what we're going to do. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, 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 everybody. Hello. It has been bonkers today. Today and yesterday, quite frankly, both bonkers. Too much bunkering. Good evening to you as well. Hello. Hi, hi, hi. Yes, I'm doing okay, Duchess. Doing okay. Yay, we love that, right? Good evening, Kimber. Hello. Um, Allison. Hello. Soul Rose. Hello, hello. Just make sure I can see everybody's comments. Some days I can't. So, hello, Kaya. Hello. Man, Kaya, you've been working so hard today. Working hard, fighting the good fight out there. We love that. I thought it was another black screen. Oh no! Yes, so we had some trauma yesterday, everybody. For anyone who was not here yesterday, we had some trauma. We did. We have a little PTSD going on here, just a little bit. We're not too bad, but it's not great. Hello, 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 everyone. Oh, it's so good to see you all. And it's so nice to be over here too on the tube. Things are getting kind of, oh, seriously, my cats are zooming. Stop zooming around. They don't care. They're like, feed us or shut up. That's kind of how they are. Anywho, as I was saying, I was distracted by the cats. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So the TikTok's getting kind of like mean. Like before it was a little spicy, but now it's getting mean. So a bit better today. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, I mean it's tough when you get sick and it takes you out of what you'd like to do. Kittens are all asleep right now. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love kittens, but they are a lot of work. So I'm not sure I could do the work because it's like a lot. But I'm glad. I'm glad they're sleeping, giving you some time to sleep also. And I have my hot cocoa here because I need chocolate almost 24/7 these days in order to make it through. That's just kind of how it is. Oh, I know, John, right? Oh my gosh. That's so exciting. And again, so much work. 8 at one time. That's a lot. That's a lot. No thanks. Thanks for the offer, but no thank you. Not for me. That's all right. Oh my gosh. Oh, when you're not feeling well. Oh, true. Yeah, they still have things that they want to get done as they set out their own, oh my gosh, their own schedule for the day. Right. Yes, indeed. So, welcome in, everybody. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Again, I'm trying to kind of get back into the habit of making sure I'm doing lives over here. I really, the last, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks, it's been just on TikTok, and it's because it's so quick and easy to get it started. There are a few more steps I have to take when I come up on the YouTube. So if I'm just trying to like just turn the camera on and record, I can do that with TikTok, but not as easily with the tube. But this is where it's at, right? So this is if I do take the time to get it set up, I always enjoy being over here and hanging out with everyone. So, yay for that. Now, here we go. Let's do a quick refresher on what we've been doing, right? We have here reporting and analysis of the FBI under the leadership of FBI Director Kash Patel. Now, I know Hegseth is the one getting most of the media right now, but we mustn't forget Patel because he is a little bit different in his leadership style. So this report comes from the first 6 months. So February 21st to August 21st, and they've gone through and taken a look at everything that's been done. Again, we did go through the first half of this last night, which was great. And we have multiple committees that they have given this report to. So they are an alliance of retired and active duty FBI special agents and analysis. So, well, hello. Thanks. Thanks, Kaya. I was like, did I read that right? Like, what are you doing here? This is a family show here, people. Hello. Yes, good to see you. Is it Lee? It looks like a Lee. Lee Trown. I'm so terrible with names. I'm so sorry. We don't want that nasty. That's right, VC. That's right. Yeah, they are. I agree. They're getting pretty weird. Oh my gosh. Okay, everybody. So here's my side note. I just don't want to start until it's like exactly 7. But here's my, oh, thanks for that. That's adorable. We love that. So, okay. I was on a live. I've been cruising around lots of other lives. And I was on a live that was being done by Devil Dog. And oh my gosh, she's one of my favorite creators on this app. Well, on the TikTok app. He is so smart. Just so smart. And has a humor about him and is just really, it's a fun life to hang out on because I learned something. Anyway, so you had a full panel. I'm just quiet in the comments, like do. Every once in a while, I'll toss out an amendment if they need hand or something like that. But today, oh my gosh, everybody, today I can barely speak of it. Today there was one person that joined them on the panel, and they were doing something that is not appropriate to have on a live. At first, when I looked, I was like, I'm sorry, what's that? And then when I looked again, I was like, no, that's not okay here. We don't do that here. So then I had to bleach my eyeballs. So that took up a lot of space. I know. Well, and I'm not a moderator on his channel. And so I just kept trying to like hit the button to disconnect him, but I couldn't. So, it was scarring, but oh, we got back on track again. But I don't know that I'll ever be the same again. Hello. Hi. Hello. Welcome, Carrie. Right. So, well, I mean, that wasn't, it was the other side. It wasn't that side. You know what I'm saying? Some bad business going on. Anyway, I have to share that with you so you can all become traumatized like me. And, we can go to group therapy together. Hopefully we won't need that. Anyway, I had to share that with you because it was hilarious and scarring mentally and emotionally. Here we are. We've made it to the 7 o'clock Central hour. Oh my goodness, we made it. Hello, Willie B. Hello. I'm hoping I was able to give that story out too before Big Grandma came. Hopefully, we fingers crossed. Okay. Well, right. Keep your keep your kink to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Find something else, cause dang, we're like talking about how the prices of groceries and gas and why did you vote for him and stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, what? Oh my goodness gracious. Well, anyway, all right, let's get back into it here, everyone. I did read the first part, and they did a really great job here with the table of contents. When I say the second half, I mean, we did literally make it through 1 through 5. So we have 6 through 10, and then notable incidents coming up. Inappropriate on a really, oh my goodness. Well, I mean, yes, that's just like bad manners, all right? Like, who taught you manners? Because that's not okay. Oh my gosh. So, that's funny to me. Here we are. We have the executive summary. Again, we're just kind of looking at this again quick. Introduction, we went through, and then the 10 key findings. So we have a total of 10 different pieces that they go through and explain. So we've got some issues here. Trump derangement syndrome is alive and well. We went through that. And demoralization of the January 6th pardons. That's so huge, right? I mean, these agents were working on these cases for a long time. And it took a lot of work to track everybody down and get them in front of a judge. And then it took more work getting the cases tried and then sentenced and so on. So the amount of effort that it took to bring these people to justice, and then in one afternoon, it's like gone. And that's it. That's really bad. The Crown with 2. Oh, I don't know. Sorry. Do you have video of the beginning of this case? I certainly do, Carrie. If you go here to my YouTube, I guess, homepage, then there are tabs for shorts and various things. And so what you want is the live. So it's like videos, shorts, blah, 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 and then the lives. And you can click on that and see. Yeah, it was yesterday. Oh, thank you. Yes, I love the wand as well. We got to get, some positive vibes. All right, January 6th, demoralizing, understandably so. Clear and present polarization, and I know this because I had a hard time with that word. Politicization. Politicization. Oh, I think that's it. Politicization. Oh, all right. Well, we got it if we need to do that one again tonight. So we did 3 and 4, and then we stopped at 5. So that was pretty much it yesterday, kind of going through and explaining things a little bit. So I am going to just dive right back in. Moderators, and let me know if you need anything, of course. And I appreciate all of you being here to hang out. And I've got my sticky notes so that we don't forget what we are reading here. Let's see. Hello, Thomas. Welcome. Welcome. All right, here we go. So we've gone through 1 through 4, and now here's number 5 for the director's culture of fear and paralysis. And I think this could be said for this whole administration, and because that's what they're doing. They're using fear to get people to do what they want them to do. All right, here we go. Reporting from multiple sources describes an organization internally paralyzed by fear. One source reported FBI Director Kash Patel has been characterized as, quote, very personable and likable, but the source also indicated that the director was nevertheless created a culture of mistrust and uncertainty among the ranks. Partly due to some terrible things Director Patel said about the FBI before he was nominated for the position of FBI director. And many bureau employees took that personally. That's a good point. Does anyone remember that when Patel was going after the FBI? Oh my goodness. The source went on to report that feeling of uncertainty at the FBI that the source noted did not exist before is the result of how the FBI Director Patel handled the firings of a significant number of FBI HQs, the headquarters, and FBI field office managers. The source acknowledged some FBI managers needed to be fired, but some of them, according to the source, were, in their minds, just following lawful orders. And that line's not going to work if you are trying to use that in Geneva. Reporting from another source revealed that since Kash Patel began his role as the FBI's new director, FBI leaders are just keeping their heads down and are afraid to say anything. That's a hostile work environment right there. Or do something wrong because they do not want to be terminated from employment. A third source reported FBI personnel, predominantly those members of FBI management, are afraid of losing their jobs and are making operational decisions based on that fear. While another source independently reported FBI leadership at all levels is paralyzed, meaning FBI managers are waiting for the FBI director to tell them specifically what to do. And many FBI employees are not doing anything because they're waiting on direction from the FBI director. The fifth source reported the FBI special agent trying to do the right thing are seeking an economic off ramp. And the source went on to say she has never had a job where she dreads going to work due to the uncertain work environment and little to no top cover from FBI leadership. The source said everyone at the FBI is on pins and needles about what they're required to do next, who will get fired, and who will get reassigned for non-specific reasons. That's pretty horrendous, right? Oh yeah. Well, that one was a kiddo. That was, oh my gosh, if they start turning on the taps, these cats, they may need to go to somebody else's house so that they can enjoy that. All right, here's number 15. Page 15 in here. Right. Okay. Really, really excellent. Now we've got number 6, key finding. The FBI directors and deputy directors' lack of experience. And, this is really a huge deal in the DOJ as well. Well, everywhere it's a huge deal. An alarming concern shared widely by multiple sources was what they reported as the FBI directors and FBI deputy directors' collective lack of prior experience in and knowledge of FBI management and operations. These are all the things that we don't want to hear about the FBI, but alas, here they are. He's in over his head was how two sources independently characterized FBI Director Kash Patel. With one source reporting, it appears the FBI director is in over his head and lacks the requisite knowledge or deep understanding of all the FBI's unique and complex investigative and intelligence programs. Yikes. While another source reported Director Patel has tried to bring his A game, but his A game, according to the source, is insufficient. Ooh, ouch, that's a harsh burn. The source also reported the director has neither the breadth of experience nor the bearing of an FBI director who needs to be successful. So that's a bit of a mess here. Third source strongly believes FBI Director Kash Patel and FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino lack of FBI experience is hurting the ability to lead its people and deal effectively with top tier threats facing the country. Very true. This is where the outside, all of our international people are going to be like, what is even happening over there? Another source reported their collective lack of FBI experience and arrogance in not seeking helpful advice from reputable FBI special agents have significantly hurt their ability to make needed course corrections in a timely way, reporting that the FBI as an organization under the leadership of Director Patel was described internally as a rudderless ship. Nobody wants that. The source lamented how things change constantly, and upper leadership at the FBI has no spine to help FBI Director Kash Patel or FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino understand the FBI. The fifth source believed FBI Director Kash Patel is not very good. that's pretty clear. That's pretty clear. He's not very good and may be insecure, and also lacks the requisite experience or the measured self confidence to be the director of the FBI. The source cited the director's failure, even as an attorney, to recognize the importance of withholding from public disclosure details of the evidence collected following the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That's pretty bad too, everybody. If he doesn't understand confidential versus not, that's huge, of course. So the assassination of Charlie Kirk in Orem, Utah on September 10th to better protect and preserve the integrity of the investigation. Also cited by the source was how Director Patel lost his capacity to remain calm and thoughtful. No, not that. He can't lose that. During a congressional committee hearing in the U.S. Senate on September. Does anyone remember him doing that interview or whatever? I had to just go past it. I couldn't watch it. So September 16th as well. The source reported Director Patel's composure erodes very quickly when confronted by critics, and this appeared to the source to be a reflection of Director Patel's lack of self-confidence. What are you? Oh man, that's another that hits hard right there. When they're saying like, nah, you don't have any self-confidence. That sucks. The FBI Deputy Director. Regarding FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, multiple sources specifically cited the Deputy Director's lack of experience reporting. It was a mistake not to appoint a career FBI special agent to the position of FBI Deputy Director, and that the position needed someone with broad FBI institutional experience. The one source who reportedly described FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino as something of a clown. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Well, that's not good to have your underling saying that. That's too bad. Reported she cannot believe there were no onboard FBI special agents or supervisory special agents and above with a better understanding of the workings of the FBI who might have been a better fit for the position of FBI Deputy Director. An eighth source, more specifically a subsource, reported that, quote, while addressing FBI employees during a visit to an FBI field office in the western United States, FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino said, "The truth is for chumps." Oh my gosh. The truth is for chumps. That's not good. You don't want to say that. The subsource reported being shocked, offended, and appalled that the Deputy Director of the FBI would make such a statement, and confirmed other FBI employees corroborated the report and were also shocked. That's a lot. That's a lot. When asked, the subsource's reporting person said she did not know the context in which Deputy Director Bongino made the statement. That's rough. That's rough. Oh, thanks, John. Thank you very much. Yes, all the thumbs up are great. Appreciate that. All right, so that was finding number 6. Now we're going, yeah, exactly. Can't handle the truth. Exactly. Now we're here into number 7. All right, the FBI leadership. I gotta grab my cocoa here. All right. Here we go. FBI leadership, unfortunate obsession with social media. This was the one I really wanted to hear what they had to say about, because it seems like everybody in the cabinet that is able to use social media uses it and gives out a ton of information that has not been allowed, right? So that's bothersome, I think. Too much information going out into the streets is a lot. Wait. What's going on here? I'm looking at the comments. What's going Bongino instead of Gino? Are you sure? I mean, it looks like Gino, right? Okay. Okay. Well, I'll see if I can. It's already in my brain now. Should watch the last South Park. Ah, yes. The clips are cracking me up. You're rolling. Oh, the way you say it is much better. Um, yeah. Okay. You know, as you all know, I I do my best. Sometimes I can't quite get there. Ah, oh, that's so adorable. Kristen, I'm glad you could join us. All right, let's dive back in. So, leadership's unfortunate obsession with social media. Despite receiving no specific request to provide feedback on the issue, multiple sources volunteered their comments, assessed as skewing negative regarding the frequent use of social media by FBI Director Kash Patel and the FBI Deputy Director Dan. See, now I'm worried about it. Dan. How is it? Bajino? Bajino? Oh no, I can't even remember. Dan Bajino with one source reported as saying, enough is enough. Both the FBI director and FBI deputy director, the source reported, need to stop talking, stop posting, and just be professional. And that's huge. I mean, that's absolutely huge. When any of us would get sworn in working at anything with the government in particular, very clear, like you can't be posting all the time. That information is going to cause harm. And, that's what we would tell our clients too. Like, don't post anything on your social media. Right? What? Bungino. Vagina. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a short or a long I. Well, I apologize, but I'm not sure I can change it. I thought it was Bongido. I don't know. So here we go. They need to stop using it. Another source reported that under FBI Director Kash Patel and FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, FBI employees rarely heard directly from them in a transparent manner to explain why certain things are being changed or why the FBI is taking a different direction, and that her FBI coworkers hear more news about the FBI's mission and operations from news sources and from tweets posted on social media by FBI Director Kash Patel and FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino. So it sounds like, they don't even know what's going on and that they have to go into social media to know what's happening. And that's not a good sign. A third source also noted, quote, FBI employees receive most of their news about the FBI from social media content posted by the FBI Director Kash Patel and FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, adding FBI employees should be receiving messages from FBI leadership with more clarity on official, unclassified, and classified systems. That's a good point too. When someone's using social media so much that they've basically dissociated from what they're actually doing. This would drive me crazy because Patel's up there posting left, right, and center. Meanwhile, everyone's standing there and it's like, what is it you want us to do? We'd go take our own initiative and do what we need to do, but then we could get fired. So that's a really tough spot to be in. Next, describing leadership at the FBI as dismal. Another source independently reported leaders of FBI field offices up to FBI director are spending too much time on social media and public relations and are too often concerned with building their own personal resumes. And I can understand why. I mean, you got to get out of there. There's some bad stuff going down here. All right, so that was number 7, too much social media. I would have to agree with that one for sure. Next up, Anger and frustration over orders to assist ICE. So this is another big piece, right? Because they didn't have enough people, so they pulled in FBI. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, it's adorable, adorable. Thank you, thank you. So they've been bringing people in. They're like, well, you're government and whatever, so you can come in and help us enforce, and not happy about that. Anger and frustration over orders to assist ICE. According to multiple sources across the country, members of the FBI's workforce, including FBI special agents and members of the FBI's professional staff, responded very negatively to orders compelling them to assist U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, with locating and taking into custody illegal immigrants for deportation out of the United States. No, their collective responses strongly indicated elements of the FBI workforce were resentful and unwilling to do more than begrudgingly execute the missions. That's pretty bad. Lack of proper guidance and training for FBI special agents were cited as significant red flag issues, with one source reporting an FBI management briefing on assisting U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement was incomplete and confusing at best, chaotic at worst. The source further reported that when it was pointed out to FBI management that nobody at the FBI knew anything about immigration law, oh my gosh, what? They didn't know anything about immigration law, rules, and regulations. FBI management responded by telling FBI special agents to let ICE take the lead. Whoa, to take the lead rather than the FBI? So, like, the FBI is what? Just in the back helping people get into cop cars? I mean, that's awful. That's really awful. Regarding an FBI policy that, according to reporting by the source, required operation plans written and approved in advance by the chain of command to conduct arrests, raids, or similar tactical operations. The source reported FBI management responded by saying, "Don't worry about ops plans." So they weren't going to explain that to them. Another source reported on multiple occasions FBI special agents who have gone on law enforcement operations with ICE and other federal law enforcement agencies have been compelled to deviate from FBI policies and have found themselves in tactically unsafe positions. What? Now the cubes are putting FBI into unsafe situations. That sucks. A third source independently reported FBI special agents are being pulled off their regular work duties to work shifts with ICE with no training or direction, and that FBI special agents are told to meet up with ICE agents 3 days a week in parking lots and drive around looking for illegal aliens. They're just driving around town. Our trained special agents for the FBI are being taken off of cases and told to just drive around looking for illegal aliens, because, like, you can always tell who is an illegal alien. This is awful. That's pretty bad. Not getting shocked by anything. I know. It's pretty bad. I mean, that's, oh my gosh, and incredibly disrespectful as well. To the amount of work, time, energy it took for them to walk up high enough to become a special agent. According to reporting provided by Subsource, some FBI special agents, including agents assigned to an FBI field office SWAT team who have been compelled to assist with raids led by ICE, are demoralized, angry, and frustrated because they believe people were being detained and arrested without warrants, and they feel the FBI's positive reputation in the community will suffer because of the FBI's complicity in executing mass warrantless raids. So here, right, the FBI is basically the cops of the federal system. They are the police, and they're saying, as police, we see you doing a whole bunch of stuff that is unconstitutional, and it's hurting us and it's hurting the community. So yeah, they're cruising around looking right. Exactly. Yep. Oh my goodness. FBI special agents, as Series 1811 criminal investigation, are authorized under Title 18 U.S. Code Section 3052 here to make arrests without a warrant for any offense against the United States committed in their presence. So that's like plain view. Very typical language. If you're actually seeing someone committing the crime, you can go forward. Or for any felony cognizable under the laws of the United States. So again, felony or forcible felonies would include things um, like robbery or uh, kidnapping, things that involved harming another person tend to be those forcible felonies. If you have reasonable grounds to believe that the person to be arrested has committed or is committing such a felony. You know what's not a felony, though, just to remind everybody, not having your paperwork in order for being in the country. That is not a felony. Diversion of FBI resources and personnel away from the FBI's national security mission. In response to orders to assist the ICE, both sources and subsources expressed grave concern about the potential consequences of diverting FBI resources and uniquely qualified FBI personnel away from the FBI's national security mission, including counter-terrorism and counterintelligence operations. Yep. With one subsource asking, if we're not working CT and CI, then who is? And that's the ultimate question, isn't it? We've got counterintelligence and counterterrorism, and nobody can work those two areas because they're getting sent to, cruise the loop, with the dingleberries out there. And so the real crime, the real things that we've been working on for a very long time are being put to the side, right? Oh, a source previously cited in this section reported the resource draw, if left unaddressed, will lead to cascading national security threats, ultimately compromising the security of our country. And another source similarly reported diverting FBI special agents in this way will harm our national security and serve as an additional blow to the FBI. Yikes. It's so bad. A seventh source providing comments relevant to this section agreed, quote, with the shift towards combating violent crime and prosecuting deporting dangerous illegal immigrants, but was reported as saying the shift need not come at the expense of counterintelligence and other national security work. Standing alone as a minority voice on the issue, the source further reported immigration actions have been overwhelmingly successful. Those individuals being swept up in the raids, said, are criminal and dangerous, not otherwise law-abiding grandmas who have been here in the country for 20 years, as reported by some media outlets, emphasis added. The last fella here, or the last person here, we don't know if it's a man, woman, or something else that's not a man or a woman. Oh, that's not right. Hold on here. Let me backtrack a little bit. So when we're talking about in this situation, like we're having to stand around and do stuff, but that's okay because it's having a great impact off of immigration. We're in a spot here where this person, whoever they are, is saying this is more important than counterterrorism. That's worrisome there. Worrisome. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Ooh, all right, DEI is next. Are we ready? Ready for the next one here? Oh, Kristen, I'm glad you're here too. I know I've been popping up all over the place with no set time or location, so yikes. Here's the ninth key finding. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, no more. There were strong opinions shared by multiple sources praising the removal of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives and programs from the FBI, with one source reporting that before FBI Director Kash Patel began his role as the FBI's new director, there was an overemphasis on DEI initiatives to the exclusion of doing actual work. Oh, well, we don't want that. That some FBI personnel felt feelings mattered more than casework, and that certain DEI groups were catered to and used their status as special interest groups to shield them from doing work. Uh, Hold on a minute. That's not okay. That's not okay. That's not what DEI is for. Hmm. We're getting this from a source. So we don't know if this is actually true or not. The source further reported some FBI leaders were afraid of holding FBI employees in these special interest groups accountable when they didn't do their assigned work because the FBI leaders were afraid of being labeled as racist or obstructive, which, according to the source, could adversely impact their prospects for promotion. According to reporting received by the source, there was a time when white males in the office, particularly FBI special agents, felt marginalized as outsiders due to the heavy influx of DEI initiatives. But since FBI Director Patel assumes the role of FBI new director, the source reported there's been less focus on DEI and other special interest groups and functions during the week work hours at the FBI, and this, according to the source, has made FBI employees happy. So this isn't, I would say this particular source's perspective on things could absolutely be correct. It's possible. But also, this kind of, to me, smacks of racism. That's and misogyny. That's what it smacks of. Because there are, if you really understood what DEI was, you would understand that we're not having, a quota situation. But they feel how they feel, and that's how that is. White older men, oh, I know, right? Oh, they're just getting the short end of the stick. Now, I'm not trying to say that the white man's like bad, but this is odd. If this is really going on, this is an issue that should have been handled earlier. Was it the supervisors doing this? Was it who exactly was doing this, right? Was Comey in place? I mean, what's going on? Because this kind of treatment, what they're saying here, this is illegal. And, you're the FBI. If something illegal is happening, you're supposed to report it, right? The true meaning wouldn't allow them to. Oh my gosh, so true. Oh, that's so true, John. Absolutely. The same argument in the 80s. Yes, exactly. So I'm struggling to put full credibility in here because these are what we've been hearing for affirmative action, which we do not have affirmative action anymore. Another source similarly reported the younger FBI employees enjoyed programs focused on DEI because those programs took their time away from doing actual work. That's just rude. That's just rude. And that the more senior FBI employees stayed silent for fear of being labeled racist when it came to commenting on the focus placed on DEI. I don't know who this person is, but they are bitter and they are part of the squad trying to get rid of those civil rights. So that's too bad. They don't even understand. I agree. I agree, Allison. And that can happen. That can happen. Is that they just listen to too much. Sorry, I readjusted my chair. They listen to too much of the bologna sandwiches spouted out from particular uh, entertainment source, and they take it as truth. But I think, although I do not think this is accurate, this could very well be the way this person feels. And, the acknowledgement of, I hear where you're coming from, you're completely and totally wrong, and, other words that I could say. But I think acknowledging that this has gone on in the FBI, though, I mean, it's just one more point to say, this has not been taken care of. Uh, but this is pretty bad here. This is pretty bad. Next, less of an administrative burden. The same source, yikes, we're not sure about this source, reported that because DEI has been removed from the DNA of the FBI's daily operations, the administrative burden on FBI special agents and other FBI personnel is less because they do not have to participate in DEI and other related training and meetings. Oh my gosh. So they're saying we get more work done because we don't have to go to meetings learning about how to not be a racist. All right, all right. A source previously cited in this section similarly reported the administrative burden on the FBI personnel is lessened because they do not have to participate in DEI and other related training and meetings with the source, said many appreciate. So that's an issue that should have been taken care of when it first started. So if you're working in a place where these kinds of things are happening, there's ways to anonymously report that and have people come in and take a look and see what's going on. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. A third source independently reported, let me make sure I'm in frame here, everyone. FBI special agents and other FBI personnel spend too much time on administrative work, but the source did note the administrative burden has improved since the removal of time required to spend on DEI. That's interesting. I'm just curious now what the H was going on with the DEI and the FBI, Finally, another source was reported as saying, the mission at the FBI is refocusing on do your effing job rather than on non-mission essential or counterproductive tasks or sensitivity training, which the source said was insulting to the majority of the FBI employees who do not need to be told how to communicate. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Any kind of programs that your uh, office is doing. I mean, everyone goes through the sexual harassment stuff, right? We all had to do that when we were working in government. If you're going to have a government job, or it doesn't matter what it is, if you're working for the government, you need to take your sexual harassment class. All right, that's just required. And then there are other things that are required. So I don't know. I think that the report's I'm not sure if I'm at a point where I feel like the report's compromised, but we have to note too, we've got like two people giving information, and that information may be absolutely correct according to these two people, or three. There's a third source here. So, we can acknowledge it and see that there's a problem. Is the problem DEI, or is the problem the leadership that's not keeping everything orderly and running? That's another question. And some people may feel it's a huge waste of time, and this is the only way that people think they could have any kind of diversity training, as if they kind of forced it on people. But people that are really frustrated with you and talking about stuff you don't care about, is going to be a rough road to be on. Special training on DEI. Good question. We don't know. Required how not to get sued. Well, that's exactly right. So unique. Exactly. And I've done several, I guess, what would I call them? Conference, educational pieces, I guess. I don't know, seminars maybe is best, talking about that issue itself. So, there's a lot of things that people could do better, for sure. You try to get rid of, yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on in the DEI world. Many people have overshot it, meaning that it's gone too far in situations, and I've seen that too. This, to me, based off of what I'm reading, doesn't seem like they've gone too far. But again, we've only got 3 people in here. So I'm not sure how to deal with well, that's the point. That's an excellent point, isn't it? Like you can't just exist in a vacuum, in a white crystal vacuum. That's not going to work. But on the other hand, um, there is this thing, and we had a lot of this kind of backlash during the feminist movement, which was a couple decades ago. But for those of you who remember the backlash that came with that, sorry, hot cocoa, sorry. Okay, the backlash that came from that, right? So I know for sure we're also getting a backlash here. And so that's why people are saying, and people come up and say like, oh, I can't believe you don't know the difference between a man and a woman. I'm like, well, obviously you don't know what science is, so go learn the science and you can talk to me again. And we have a lot of people over exerting, overcoming, trying to figure out a way to get around learning about this stuff. Maybe because it makes them uncomfortable, or maybe it is too long, too much, but I'm not sure. Pretty close. Oh my gosh. All right. Oh my goodness. We gotta watch that. That's huge. Literally only had 2 hours of training. It's not that much. Right. And I think when I've worked for the government before, again, we had the sexual harassment, and then we called it just diversity. We didn't call it like mandatory DEI in order for federal funding to occur. We didn't do that, but whatever. All right, here we go. Number 10, mixed opinions on the progress to reform the FBI. Now, this is something I didn't realize we were reforming, but I think the curtain's been pulled back for the FBI, and I think we're going to continue to find out some interesting things that have been going on there. Source reporting showed opinions were mixed on the progress to reform the FBI. With one source reporting there has not been much progress to reform the FBI, and another reporting she is not happy with the apparent lack of progress in eliminating the politicized elements of today's FBI. All right. The second source, more specifically described as being upset with the lack of institutional reform at the FBI, further reported the that despite public comments by the FBI director Kash Patel, there seems to be little progress in reforming the FBI under his leadership. I think it's going to be hard to reform the FBI when diversity is no longer something that can be discussed. You kick diversity out, you're not going to be able to make a comeback from that. I'm just going to put that out there. Another source believed there is good progress at HQ to reform the FBI, citing the firing of FBI EADs, so executive assistant directors, and that firings like these need to be implemented at the FBI field office level. They have not gone deep enough, according to the source, and they should be brought to the mid-management level, ASAC's assistant special agents in charge and above. Now, this is something I can't speak of. I do not know of the quality of the peoples here that are the employees. I just can't speak on that because I don't know about it. Oops, just a second, everybody here. I'm scrolling. Okay, there we go. So I don't know if that's helpful or not. You would want to think I want to think that whoever's in charge of the FBI would like get rid of the problems that they're having like this. I would take care of it, but I'm getting this picture in my mind that the directors in the past just kind of did their own thing, and everybody else just did their own thing, and there wasn't a lot of collaboration. District Court ruled administration has to restore Planned Parenthood funds to Medicaid. Oh my gosh, that's winning. That's a winning moment. Get retrained. Oh yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. If they needed that much training, then something was already wrong in how they were operating. Oh my gosh. And not a DEI issue. Excellent point. Exactly right. I mean, if we're this far in down the road, it's not DEI that's the problem, and I think that's very true, very true. All right, here we go. Regarding reform at the operational level, a fourth source reported Operational effectiveness at the FBI has improved because prosecutors are being more aggressive to stay in the administration's favor. That doesn't sound right. That's not right. Yikes. And that there's a big push for officer safety and associated training. There should always be a push for officer safety. So, I'm getting suspicious now. The source said it's good considering the current emphasis on combating violent crime and the push to get more FBI special agents out of the office and onto the streets. But, I mean, they're going out with ICE, kind of like ICE bodyguards, it seems like. Oh, that's such great news. Such great news. And again, I think we're going to start seeing the dominoes starting to fall in the court system. We only needed a couple to get started, and I think we're there. So, headed in the right direction. A fifth source independently reported, with a new administration in the White House, the vocal minority, the source said, is not running things anymore. This, that's not a great way to put that. The source added that the FBI field office has refocused on the mission. It is early, but the source said it appears institutional reform is headed in the right direction. Okay. The source further reported casework and threats are now the priority, and that even most of the assigned to the FBI headquarters who are being kicked back out to the field acknowledge the reprioritization is a positive move. And I'm just not sure about that. I'm just not sure. But that's the 10th. Let's see if they've got any more info on number 10. Oh, a little bit more here. A third source independently reported FBI special agents and other FBI personnel spend too much time on administrative work. Oh, sorry, that's page 21. We're going back. It's like, I think I just read that not very long ago. Okay, here's 22. Here's 23, everybody. All right. Only the highest of the professional task that I do here. Highest of qualities. All right. Now we're going to dive into some notable incidents here, everyone. Some screw-ups that were made. To provide additional insight into the management and leadership style of the FBI Director Patel, the following 3 notable incidents are set forth below as reported independently by 3 separate sources. Right, so number 1, email signature block, quote, hypocrisy. So here's the source. Again, the different people have just been given a number, and so they're called alpha and then whatever number they're given. So these are the sources that they're talking about. Location, northern U.S., southern U.S., eastern, western. All right, so like all of the U.S., okay. Reliability, seen as this is reliable. I'm assuming then if it's got an underline, it means that's where it's at. I'm like, why are you naming every section? Is a... Right. I mean, you've got to list who it was, right? All right, here we go. Access level, direct. Reporting history, initial. Cooperation type, knowing. Corroboration level, first time. All right, that's good information to have right out of the gate. On September 11th of 2025, the reporting person, code name Romeo Papa 139. Romeo Papa? I don't know. This is weird. Weird names, people. An attorney and corporate security executive working for a multinational conglomerate who previously served for more than 20 years as an FBI special agent and FBI supervisory special agent in an FBI field office located in a large metropolitan city in the eastern United States, voluntarily provided the following information obtained firsthand from a human source. Okay, instead of like what, a cat from a human source. We're only taking human sources. Everybody else, you can get out of the line. Oh my gosh. All right. Source description. Alpha 16 has served more than 15 years as an FBI special agent and FBI supervisory special agent in an FBI field office located in a large metropolitan city in the eastern United States. Romeo Papa 139, also known as Alpha 16, for about a decade, assessed 16 as being hard worker, knowledgeable, well respected by his or her peers at the FBI. 139 further described Alpha 16 as reliable, trustworthy, and competent. All right, so here's the email signature blocks and hypocrisy. Alpha 16 reported that all FBI employees received an email from FBI Director Patel a few weeks ago, circa August 2025, regarding email signature blocks. Now, everyone knows what that is, right? The block that's at the bottom of your email, right? That goes out every time. And I'm not trying to be facetious about it. I didn't know until the last few years about the block situation. And it wasn't until I started my own firm that I was like, should I put something down there? And I would say the disclaimer is different than the block that they're talking about. The signature block is different from the disclaimer, right? Okay, so they're saying here, Alpha 16 said FBI Director Kash Patel, in his email to all FBI employees, ordered the following. Email signature blocks are not to have any pronouns or messages of any kind, e.g., quotes or inspirational messages. Director Patel, according to Alpha 16, also ordered the same font be used and in only one color, black. Failure to follow these orders, Alpha 16 said, will result in disciplinary guidance. However, Alpha 16 reported that the FBI Director Patel's own email signature block included number 9, which the FBI personnel interpreted as signifying Director Patel's position in history as the FBI's 9th director. Alpha 16 said FBI personnel in the office laughed at what was perceived as hypocrisy on the part of the director. So oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for the gifts. Oh, that's so sweet of you. I appreciate it. So what are our thoughts on this, though? If we're just talking about this, we've got this request that these signature blocks all be the same font, same ink, nothing special, no way to individualize the signature blocks, but we're in a professional government position. What do we think about that? Is that reasonable? Is it reasonable to ask people to do that at the FBI specifically? Are we okay with that, or is that out of line? Petty, okay. Right. Oh my goodness, thank you. Thanks for the gifts, everybody. So sweet. Why can't you have Ms., or Mrs.? Well, right. What about doctor too? Like there's other titles, or junior, right? Right. It's all about me. Kristen. Oh my gosh. They don't have enough to keep them busy to mess with something. Well, I can understand that. So what we have here is the directors telling the FBI peoples, you cannot have anything personal in your signature block at the end of your emails, like, stay cool or whatever, or, Bueller, whatever it is. You can't include that stuff. It has to be the same font, same color, and then with minimal information. Micromanaging, yes. Definitely not professional. Okay. And no she, her, him, them, there. Right, no more of those. Put my married Mrs., but not my pronouns. Well, right. That's what it sounds like. I'd lose respect. I think if I was working there too, I think the micromanagement piece is especially important here. The only thing Patel felt he can really control easily. Now, that's kind of what I'm going to say. That's what I was thinking too. Of everything going on in the world, right? He's sending out this memo that said, you need to follow what I'm telling you exactly for your emails. And then the people are like, well, dude, you're not even following it. And so the hypocrisy is like, Like that was definitely a mark against him for sure. Professionals know how to be a professional. I agree 100%. I agree. They asked to add our pronouns to our email. Right. Like having personal messages in a work email signature isn't professional. True. Well, and that was the other thing too, Philip. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think there's great comments here, though. I think the FBI agents at the top that do most of the work that involves that level of professionalism are probably not being like, wait for the sunshine to come out and it'll be the dawning of the age of Aquarius, right? They're not putting that in their signature line. A lot of times it's going to be kind of further down the road. But there is something to be said about the level of professionalism. On the other hand, there's something to be said for people being able to express themselves independently. And when you're working a job like the FBI, it's like you're part of a team, you're part of a team, you're part of a team. But on the other hand, you're still your own person. And there's not a lot of ways to express that when you're going through and doing the kind of work that they're doing. So I can see both sides of this kind of argument. Nobody uses Comic Sans. Now that part again, the font part is weird too, I thought. Right. The number 9, like, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly why he would do that. Something else that I did find interesting, and I won't give away who the candidate was, but I've been working in politics for a very, very long time. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm out of that world. But when I was in that world, there was a congressman whose campaign I was assisting with, and he would write, one of his requirements that you could not use blue ink. You could only write him a note, like a quick note, if it was in black. So he's like, only use black pens. He sent this memo out to everyone. I will only read whatever it is if it's written in black pen. And we're all like, seriously? Are you seriously doing this? And that line has haunted him for the rest of his life. Like he would show up at any time there was a campaign event or whatever, and it's like, do you need a black pen? Is it okay that I wrote my name on the sticker in blue, or do I need to switch to black? So I mean, this kind of crazy bologna sandwich does occur all the way around. But again, it's that, I think you're right in the comments when you're saying it's that element of micromanaging power, I think, which, yeah, no, he never came back from that. Yeah, he never came back from that. We all over, no matter what, we would bring black pens. Everybody had black pens. Like, we just want to make sure, Senator, that we're here respecting your boundaries or whatever. Oh goodness. All right, so here we go. That was the hypocrisy here. Then we've got page 25 over here. We've got another. This one is actually, to me, quite disturbing, and I'm hoping to get a little insight here from you all in the chat about this, because I'm a little, of course, Charles, good to see you. Because I'm interested in how people react to this. So number 2, punitive polygraph examinations. So the location here was the Western U.S., reliability here, direct access, initial reporting history, cooperation type, unknowing, and corroboration here. So on September 15th of 2025, the reporting person, code name Romeo Papa 127. It gets me every time. Everything else is going well. They could fly with the rest. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Yeah, who's got time? Who's got the time to be like, oh, well, redo it because it's not in black ink, All right, a veteran of the FBI who served for more than 20 years as an FBI agent, special agent, led complex investigations into violent crimes and major offenders matters in the Western United States, provided instruction to FBI personnel as a certified FBI instructor, and operated as the official point of contact between the FBI and a foreign government's law enforcement, military, and intelligence agencies while assigned overseas. Voluntarily provided the following information obtained firsthand from a human source. Source description: Alpha 95 served FBI for more than 2 decades. most recently as a high-ranking official in the divisional level before retiring from the FBI. We've got a lot of the retirements going on in there. Romeo Papa 127 is also known Alpha 95 for almost 2 decades. They have a close professional relationship and they work together during their careers with the FBI. Okay, Romeo Papa 127 said Alpha 95 was highly respected by both FBI special agents and members of the FBI's professional staff and had a reputation as a highly respected leader and as a person of integrity. According to Romeo Papa 127, Alpha 95 is reliable, trustworthy, and competent, and Alpha 95 had direct access to the information provided below. So now we're going to talk about the polygraphs. Right. All right. Alpha 95 said there is reporting within the FBI indicating FBI Director Patel was upset after learning about a group discussion that took place at the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia, among approximately a few dozen FBI personnel who, during the discussion, agreed, disagreed, or were indifferent to a request reportedly by Director Patel that he, the director, be issued an FBI firearm. What? Oh, now we're getting to it. All right, so there's a group of personnel during the discussion agreed, disagreed, or were indifferent to a request by Patel that he be issued an FBI firearm. I don't think they can just give you one. Don't you have like training and some stuff? Right? And then they're not just like, here you go, good luck, I mean, you would hope there would be training. According to Alpha 95, details of the group discussion were leaked. FBI Director Patel learned about the discussion and subsequently FBI personnel who took part in the discussion were ordered to submit to a polygraph examination to determine their involvement in the discussion and any actions they may have taken after the discussion took place. Alpha 95 characterized the order to conduct polygraph examinations as punitive, so punishment here. Holy buckets. Is that crazy? To be like, okay, you all need to take a polygraph test because I want to know who was making fun of me, and whatever. Like, that's awful. That's just awful. Yeah, so, Patel is like, oh, looks like I already wrote my thoughts on that one. That's kind of bonkers. And then next, and this is my personal favorite of the incidents, the search for a medium-sized FBI raid jacket. So we've got Alpha 99. Last one was Alpha 95. Okay, everyone, so we're looking at Alpha 99. In a location not disclosed, a reliable information, it's direct access, initial reporting history, cooperation type is unknown. Yeah, exactly. Loyalty check. I know. Gosh, it's bananas. The whole thing's bananas. Corroboration consistently. So here we go. This is crazy talk, in my humble opinion. On September 15th of 2025, the reporting person, codename Romeo Papa 127. Wait, I thought it was one. Wait a minute. We got 99 over here. We got 95 over there. And okay, we're 127 over here. A veteran of the FBI who served more than 20 years as an FBI special agent, led complex investigations into violent crimes and major offenders. Matters in the Western U.S., provided instruction to FBI personnel as a certified FBI instructor and operated as the official point of contact between the FBI and a foreign government's law enforcement. Military and intelligence agencies, while assigned overseas, voluntarily provided the following information obtained firsthand from a human source, codename Alpha 99. Yikes, there's a lot going on there. Right. Ugh. So here we go. Source description. Alpha 99 served in the FBI for multiple decades. 127 has known Alpha 99 many years, and 127 and Alpha earned a reputation as hard workers and was highly respected by both FBI special agents and members of the FBI's professional staff. So here we go. Let's get into some of the deets on this. Every one I'm saying is my favorite, and you know they are. I have a place in my heart for all of them. According to Romeo Papa 127, Alpha 99 is reliable, trustworthy, competent, and the information provided by Alpha 99 was believed to be credible, but has not yet been independently corroborated. FBI Director Kash Patel and the FBI raid jacket. It's like the beginning of a kid's story. Seriously, we should make this into a children's book. All right, let's be for serious here. It's hard. According to Alpha 99, FBI Director Kash Patel arrived at the Provo Airport in Provo, Utah on September 11th of 2025. Alpha 99 said that after his plane landed, FBI Director Patel would not disembark from the plane without an FBI raid jacket. He wouldn't leave the plane. Note, based on Alpha's 99% reporting, FBI Director Patel apparently did not have his own FBI raid jacket with him. And where is it? Where is it? You have a raid jacket? You're going to a raid? Where'd you put your raid jacket? That's my question. Maybe left it somewhere. But that's crazy, going to a raid without your jacket. Anyway, he said he didn't have his raid jacket with him, refused to step from the plane without wearing one. All right. It's good to be able to know that you're, recognized as law enforcement. Alpha 99 went on to say many FBI special agents and other FBI personnel were busy working in the aftermath of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and that FBI personnel had to stop and ask around to find an FBI raid jacket, a medium-sized one that would fit the FBI director. So they're working on the aftermath of the assassination, and then now they're being asked, can you find me a medium-sized jacket? Alpha 99 said there were many large and extra large FBI raid jackets available. Finally, according to Alpha 99, FBI personnel searching for a medium-sized FBI raid jacket that would fit the FBI Director Patel finally found one. That raid jacket, Alpha 99 said, belonged to one of the female FBI special agents. You know this is true. You know she took her jacket off and was like, here, just make it stop. Oh my goodness. Alpha 99 said the raid jacket belonging to the female FBI special agent was then delivered to FBI Director Patel on the plane. But as he was inspecting the jacket, Patel noticed two areas on the upper sleeve near the shoulders that did not have Velcro patches attached. Alpha 99 and the FBI Director Patel then reportedly said he would not leave the aircraft. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, until he had two patches to cover those areas. According to Alpha 99, members of the FBI SWAT team took patches off their own uniform and ran those patches over to FBI Director Patel at the airport. How crappy is this? How absolutely crappy is this that they would do that, right? They're taking their own patches off because this dumbass forgot to bring his jacket. The patches were then attached to the loaner FBI raid jacket. I bet she didn't get her jacket back, actually. Alpha 99 said, and FBI Director Kash Patel disembarked from the plane. That's so crazy. I know. That's so crazy. Seriously, he stopped the people from working in order to get a medium-sized jacket because a large was too big. I mean, what the H is that? It's too much, everybody. It's just too much. All respect is gone. That there was a need to start with. All right, so those are our 10 big findings that they have along with the bad behavior. So let me just skim us through here. Next, we've got genesis of the report, the source that started it all here, and then more information again. And working immigration matters. Again, they're not trained in immigration law, request for information, sources and methodology, shield of anonymity, which is really important right now, recommendations set out. I don't know. The recommendation for Patel, number one, is listen to your people. Listen to your people. Every opinion matters, but I don't see that happening at all here. And then remember your oath as well, which, I think Patel struggles with that. Here's the conclusion, and again, our charts of the alphas. These are the sources here. So there's quite a few, 16 sources right there. Let me see here. More people that were let go after decades of service. And then the different levels of things that are so difficult for FBI to come to heads with, to agree with, right? Because they're just joining and they're saying, well, what's going on? And nobody in ICE knows what's going on. Don't worry about operations plans. Well, that's how you enforce the law. A deadly force while assisting ICE. Deadly force has its own distinct set of factors that can be allowed to be used. And actually, let me just go through the deadly force piece. This is something that I think is really important for a lot of people. Alpha 28 reported that when FBI special agents asked about deadly force situations and whether the U.S. Department of Justice or the FBI would support FBI special agents who got involved in any deadly force incidents while assisting ICE, the guidance provided was vague, adding that he, she, and other FBI special agents were told by FBI management that they, the FBI special agents assisting ICE, should try not to get involved in any deadly force issues or shooting. So just try to not get involved. We're not going to give you an answer. We're going to just say don't get involved. That's awful. A refusal to assist means trouble. So it says here, Alpha 28 said that when FBI special agents expressed their concerns about the sketchy facts and mission guidance, by the way, hashtag here are all of our witnesses for the civil suits, FBI management responded by asking the agents whether they were refusing to conduct the mission. Alpha 28 interpreted FBI management's response, which was delivered in the form of a question, as a clear indication that FBI special agents would get in trouble if they refused to assist ICE. Based on her decades of combined experiences in the U.S., Armed Forces, and the FBI, Romeo Papa 174 believed that based on Alpha's 28 reporting, the FBI appeared willing to ignore or suspend FBI rules and regulations and throw FBI special agents to the wolves with little to no guidance. So they're like, no, we're not going to do that. Fuel for the media, receiving orders from FBI headquarters in here. And then we've got the Trump derangement syndrome, shift in recruitment priorities, no confidence in the new FBI special agents, public perception and trust in the DOJ, and the FBI is just gone. It's so compromised. Say nothing to today's FBI. Don't say anything. Just, walk away with your hands out in front of you so they know you're not carrying anything. A lack of progress going on here as, again, we just kind of flip through the rest of this report. Here we go. No accountability, no trust. True. Here's another one. Source description, personal values. Here, morale is plummeting. Overly political and rudderless ship. We kind of talked about already too. Strategy revisions fall flat. Go figure. Learning about the FBI from social media. Don't do that. Don't do that. Fatigue and anxiety. Accountability, lack of transparency, too scared to do anything, so they're like paralyzed, unable to move forward for fear of losing their position. Working immigration and violent crime, angry, disheartened, because that's what you need, a whole bunch of angry FBI special agents. That's going to work out great for everybody. Lack of FBI experience and arrogance. Arrogance? Hold on a minute. How can we be lacking in arrogance? You're the FBI. Let's look here. Alpha 33 strongly believes that Kash Patel and FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, is that right? Bongino? Oh my gosh, collective lack on FBI experience and arrogance is not seeking helpful advice from reputable FBI special agents have significantly hurt their ability to make needed course corrections in a timely way. So they're not getting any help because they're not doing everything. Did I get it, John? Did I get it? Okay. They're not helping because they don't trust them. Go figure, right? That's kind of how a lot of people feel. Badges in handguns, investigations of J6. So the FBI agents who were investigating J6 are like, I'm freaking out because they're coming for me, which is not what you should ever have to worry about when you are investigating crimes, right? So FBI morale was split before FBI Director Kash Patel. So there were already some problems, and his issues didn't help. Oh, redacting the Epstein files, everyone. Let us take a peek at that. Alpha 16 said FBI special agents were pulled off their regular duties to the exclusion of their casework to work 24/7 for 1 week redacting documents related to the Jeffrey Epstein case. No, Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted sex offender, died in a New York prison cell on August 10th of 2019. So 24/7 for a week, like my goodness gracious. My goodness gracious. Oh, that's awful. And then still having to go in and try to work with other entities that are so out of line. All right, let's fast forward here again, everyone. Early retirements being offered, working relationships with other agencies right now, not great. A deviation from FBI policies, and that also is probably the lethal force, use of lethal force. Right. And then we've got a few more. So the retirement rumor, mixed perception of leadership, who's in charge, we don't know. Bad leaders at the FBI, yeah, that's true. Operating based on fear rather than, doing what you know is right. And source descriptions here, operational cultural norms. Again, we're going super fast here through the rest. Here also, certified, learn, right. So here's their qualification. Here and here. All right, so the FBI director's not very good. Oh, goodness. All right, here we go, because we're coming down to the final pieces here. So Alpha 36 said FBI Director Kash Patel is not very good. Alpha 36 likes FBI Director Kash Patel's aggressiveness, i.e. how the director pushes back against critics to move the FBI in a new direction. But Alpha 36 says Director Patel strikes her as odd, adding that she believes Director Patel's performance to date in his role as the leader of the FBI is, quote, concerning. My gosh, the one guy that's like on your side and he's like, yeah, he's not doing very well. I don't know about this guy. I don't know. All right, and then we've got different ways that you can request information and what's allowed, what's not allowed. A lot of the cases that we have right now against the administration are FOIA cases, so Freedom of Information Act, where people are going in, nonprofit groups are going in and saying, you need to give us information about what the H are doing, especially with Doge. Even if Doge is gone, the information about Doge needs to be made in a way that can be given to the public if they're requesting it. So I think that's very important to figure out what the H is going on, is to get that information. And they're trying so hard to keep people from getting that information. That's why we're in court for all of those different FOIA requests. So the bottom line is, the only way we're going to know what's really going on with the FBI and everyone else is to get that evidence pulled. November 30th, what? This was 2024 here, so that's right, February 20th, 25 here. Here we go, more pictures. More pictures. Is this the uh, Bajino? Is this him? So this is Patel. This is Bajino. This is some support person. All right. Good for you, everyone. Getting your picture taken for historical purposes. Then we've got majorities here. Let's see what else we have. Measuring the decline from within. Yikes! Oh my goodness. Now it says for at least the last past decade, since 2015, there have been some problems. And I can see that. I can absolutely see that. Federal Bureau of Investigation here, 412 out of 459 subcomponent agencies. I'm not sure exactly. We've got some kind of rating system they're doing here. What's Bajino anyway? He hasn't been there in months. True. I'm not sure what the deal is with Bajino. I feel like he was on something else before he got moved over into the FBI. Like, I'm not sure what it was, but it seems like he was in a different area before he came in to help. I put that in quotes. All right, categories of information that's been requested here. Organization priorities, effectiveness, accomplishments, burdens, and so on. Those are all important. Source and subsource characterization guide in order to kind of give more credibility to the sources, which we always need to have. And then that's the end. That's the end of a 115-page report. I know we kind of went quick there towards the end, but so what are our thoughts, everyone? They definitely pulled in not just the FBI, but also the DOJ. Now, we've already talked about many times that the DOJ feels like it's been compromised, and it feels that way because it has been compromised. But there were a lot of interesting things in here. I mean, how do you work with a boss that you can't trust, you've got no respect for? There's no way to know if you're going to get fired today or tomorrow or hired back. There's just no way to know. So you're working in like the hostile environment. And how do you get up every day and go in? Right. Mm-hmm. Right. The report was as brutal as it was come from the... Well, right. I know. Disappointed, not surprised. Yeah, I think a lot of people are feeling that way. He's a child. I agree. And two things that weren't included in here because they happened after this period of time were like bringing his girlfriend to somewhere on the FBI plane and then using SWAT members as her personal security guard. Like, what? I mean, there's definitely pieces in there that were way out of line. Yeah. Wants to rent. Right. And, again, I wasn't sure if it was going to be Patel or Hegseth who would come in, or Bondi, really, come in for impeachment. But those, I think, are the top three options. I really, really believe that we're going to see some action on the impeachment of the cabinet. Now, one way to stop impeachment, though, that I think is really important to note is that the president can just ask him to resign. And then you lose out on all that information gathering, all that discovery, all that discussion of the facts and what's really happened. We won't get to see any of that if any of the three just resign. Because, the orange is like, dude, you guys got to step down because you're a security risk to us now. So that will be interesting to see, because if they keep going forward or double down on it, which is this administration's like favorite thing to do, then we're going to get all of that information just out there for us to do with it what we shall. But again, if they're too worried about what kind of information, then that could very well lead to resignations. That's my thought on it. Yeah, that's how he wants to run it. Exactly. Is what he wants, not what's in need for the nation. Exactly. And I don't think anyone sitting on that cabinet has this idea the country will be first. They might say that, the orange is first, or something more along the lines of I'm first, how can I make the most money? Or we're doing this huge favor to the American people. Like, why don't you worship us? Something along those lines as well. But as far as this country being first, like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with that? Is he smart enough to do that? I think so. And I think it's not his innate intelligence. And I'm not going to say he's dumb because he's not fully dumb. I think he's a lot dumb, but not all of him is dumb. That does make any sense. I think there's like this little spot where he can make strategic moves. And I think requesting requesting that people quit, I think, or resign might be in that little patch that's there. Oh my gosh. Can't they do an investigation to get the same info out? True, but they're doing it, right? I mean, this is more information that we've had on the FBI than from anywhere else. I didn't listen to Patel in front of Congress. It's just, so offensive how rude people are. So I couldn't watch it. I'm like, that's so rude. Like, I'm not paying attention to that. But as far as reports go, I mean, this is so detailed with so much good information. I'm not sure what more was needed. Right. Grifting, exactly. Yep. So I think the little piece of his brain that is useful is going down that road of setting things up for himself so he looks really good. One thing he loves to do is to knock something down and then try to pick it up and say, oh, look, see what I picked up? And it's not as good as it once was, but at least it's not as bad as before. And it's like, well, it was great until you knocked it down, dumbass. Like, you're the one that knocked it down. Yes, of course. A report here. Oh, of course. Now, Willie B, I will be over here quite a bit, kind of from this week going forward. As I started tonight's live by saying it's easier for me to go live on TikTok, but it's so much more enjoyable over here on the tube. So I really need to remember that. So I'm going to try to keep coming back and get everything sorted out. At this point, he's an experienced con man. Agreed. And that's just muscle memory at this point. Like, you don't have to be super smart. That's just like, well, this is what we do, right? We put the concrete shoes on. You're swimming with the fishes. That's what you're doing. Like, that's just muscle memory. He doesn't need anything essential there. Oh my gosh, really? Okay. Gap closing with 81% in. Oh my gosh, that's so stressful. Oh, I hope they win. But then again, on that note, my friends, I do need to go ahead and sign off before I get too loopy. After that 90 minutes, it's like I gotta cut myself off. But I wish you a great night. Fingers crossed in Tennessee, everybody. Yikes. Oh my goodness. I hope. So have a great night. Take care. I will be over. Well, honestly, I don't know if I'll be here on the talk. I'll try to post later in the day, but we'll see how things go. But take care, everybody. I'll see you all again very soon.